Alright, for 7.7 we're going to solve right triangles. What that means is we are going to be solving every unknown part. So you're going to have two different types of triangles. I apologize for the ink that's missing on this picture up here. But you're going to have a triangle where we are given an angle, a side, and you need to find all unknown sides. Or you're going to be given two known sides. Okay? So when we are doing this, if you are given one angle, take 90 minus 56. So this would be 90 minus 56 degrees. And on your calculator, make sure you do it just in case you screw up. And this is 34 degrees. Okay? So now from here, with this angle here being 34 degrees, I can use sine, or I could use not sine. I could use tangent for either side of these. With this, if I want to do tangent with 56, this would be opposite, this would be adjacent. So tangent of 56 degrees equals 16.9 divided by x. To solve this, cross multiply. So x tangent 56 degrees equals 16.9. X is going to equal 16.9 divided by tangent of 56 degrees. Okay? In your calculator, if you don't remember how to do that, I'm going to have it here. So I type in 16.9 divided by parenthesis, because I would like to make sure that I don't mess up, tangent 56 parentheses, and if you look at the very top of my calculator it says degree, so I'm good. Hit enter, and roughly it's 11.3991, so I'm going to keep it at 11.399. So x is approximately 11.399. Now, with this, since this was opposite, I would use sine with 56 to find my hypotenuse. I'm going to make up a variable and put y here. And I'm going to do that work over here off to the side. I'm going to pick a different color of green so I can use that. Okay, so I would have sine 56 degrees equals 16.9 divided by y. Y sine 56 degrees equals 16.9. Divide both sides by sine of 56. Y is approximately, on my calculator, so 16.9 divided by parenthesis sine 56 parenthesis, enter, 20.385. 20.385. Now, these answers are logical because of the fact that 56 is the biggest angle besides the 90, so 16.9. The 34 degrees opposite the shortest side, which would be 11.399, and your hypotenuse is your biggest answer. Okay? Now, moving to this one. Once again, it's a little bit harder to see the triangle, but there's an angle here that I'm going to label x. And then there's another angle here, which is y. And then, if I can, I'll sketch out my triangle. My printer's ink went out. Alright, so there's roughly my triangle. So what I'm going to do is, in order to find this missing side here, that I'm going to mark in blue, this side here, I'm going to do Pythagorean theorem because I know two of the three sides. Okay, two of the three sides is awesome, so then I would do 7 squared plus, not use x, but I'm going to use s for side, equals 13 squared. 49 plus s squared equals 169. S squared equals, I want to say 120, but I'm going to double check. 120. Take the square root of both sides. S equals the square root of 120, which is really, if you want to be technical about it, 4 and 30. 30 breaks down into 6 and 5, can't break any more, so this equals 2 root 30, which is approximately 10.954 to 3 decimal places. Okay? Now, that's awesome. The next part comes the angles that we need to find of x and y. We've not done that yet, and that's the new part in 7.7. So with that, we're going to set them up and walk through them. Okay? So based on my givens, with y, opposite hypotenuse, so this is opposite, this is hypotenuse, okay? And with the green, this would be adjacent and hypotenuse, okay? So for x, I'm going to use cosine. I'm going to do the work up here. Cosine of x equals 7 over 13, and for sine, it would be sine of y equals 7 over 13. Okay? Now, to undo things with angles, you have an inverse button. It allows you to undo the function. If you look on your calculator, it's going to be kind of hard to see mine with the reflection on my phone. You have a sine, a cosine, and a tangent, and you have the inverses right up above. What this does, it allows your calculator to go through and do the opposite function in order to find your angles. And there's some great way that we can do it, but we're just going to let the calculator do it out for us. So what we do is we have to take the inverse of both sides in order to get the variable by itself. So in order to do that, cosine -1 of cosine of x equals cosine -1 of 7/13. Now, you don't have to show this side every single time. You can literally just do the right side. So x equals cosine -1 of 7 over 13. Okay? Same thing's going to hold true for the sine. So like I said, what you're going to do is to take the inverse to get y by itself. You're going to go y equals sine -1 of 7/13. Now with that, all we have to do is type that in the calculator and we're going to get degrees. Now, based on values, x's angle should be bigger than y's angle. So on the calculator, I'm going to start with cosine. So I go second. Second allows me to get up to the numbers or letters up above. Sine. Oops, let me try that again. Second, cosine, because I'm doing the x first. 7 divided by 13. Enter. And that gives me 57.421. So I'm going to go to one decimal place with angles. We can go to 2 at some times. So in this case, I'm going to go to 2 just to show the math. So my x angle on my thing here is 57.42 degrees. And when I do y, I should get the other values. So if I take 90 minus 57.42, I should get 32.58. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the sine inverse of 7/13, or the inverse of sine, and get an answer that is right there when we round. So if you look at this, if I round to 2 decimal places, the 0.578 makes that a 0.58. So my y angle is 32.58 degrees. You only need to do one, and you can subtract because they're complementary as long as you find one, but it is up to you on how you would like to do that.